Do you find yourself wondering what the hell is the cap number for the Rams? Well, we're going to try and guesstimate it. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. This will be one of the last videos you see before I actually go to Florida. Have not left yet. So if you're seeing this, I'm probably on the road now. But yeah, let's talk about it. So let's dive into it. We're going to use Spotrac here. And there's going to be some guesstimating. Okay. There's going to be some guesstimating here. Let's just be fair here. Without these salary restructures, which they can do right now, the Rams currently are at $7.6 million. This includes the additional cap space from the rollover. So there is a rollover there from last year, and most of that's been used by now. So you're at 7.6 million. And looking at this, I mean, we already know, like we've talked about this, folks. Matthew Stafford restructures, and this is 19.8. However, it is going to make his cap figure, it's going to make it 29.6 in 2024, but that money doesn't just disappear. You're sending 19 million likely onto next year. So his cap hit then will be around 60 million. So that's something to keep in mind. They might not want to go that route. When people ask me, can they afford this guy? Can they afford this guy? Can they do this? Can they do that? They can. It's just a matter of will they? Will they go the extra mile? I don't know. So they can technically restructure Matthew Stafford. Will they? I don't know. However, realistically, they're at 7.6 right now. Just factoring in Jonah Jackson's contract, Kevin Dotson, Alec Jackson's $4.8 million for the tender, because that's currently on the cap, and then Michael Hoyt and almost $3 million. Okay. And then the signing of Demarcus Robinson. And then down here, you'll see somewhere around here, running back Ronnie Rivers. There you go. 98. Yeah, about $985K. So that's everything that's happened so far for the Rams. So what happens now? This is the dead cap space. As we know, it saved some money to get rid of Brian Allen. You also incur $3.1 million in dead money. Everything else is very, very low. These are from cuts. So you're always going to have dead money. There's no way that you can't have dead money. You're always going to have dead money because you have to make cuts in the offseason or, during training camp and so forth. So what happens now if we give Colby Parkinson, who agreed to a 3-year deal worth $22.5 million. His contract expires in 2027. Let's just give him a cap figure right now, just a placeholder here. We're giving $5 million. So this is a cap figure. It doesn't necessarily mean this is what he's making in 2024. Obviously other things can be, but this is what the Rams are going to be taking on. So $5 million cap figure here. And then Darius Williams will put at 7. This could be lower, but it's better to overestimate than underestimate the cap. So $4.3 million. Okay. Negative. So now what happens? Well, there's still things that the Rams can do, but these are the guys that we know this is it. Once we know these figures, we'll have an idea of what the cap space is. We know up at the top here, Matthew Stafford can restructure, gives them $15 million. It is important to keep in mind you're going to need about $10 million, $11 million, $12 million around that to pay your draft class, especially if they keep the first round pick. That's going to cost you about $4 million towards the cap. So something to keep in mind there. So without restructuring Stafford, let's look here. Aaron Donald, what's going to be the deal with his deal? Okay. Do they move this around, money-wise? Do they extend him? Does he retire? I mean, there's different things to keep in mind here. He is going to be 33 when the league year starts. His contract expires after the season. So this is a big number here, $34 million cap figure. So they got to figure this out. Cooper Kupp, are you going to keep this cap figure? Keep in mind, if you do want to move on from him after this year, say he has another down year, you want to move on from him, it's going to make it a little difficult to do that if you indeed restructure him here. So this does save you $9.2 million, but you are going to have to figure this out at some point or another because this is just kicking the can down the road. It's what got the Rams in the position that they were in and what led to the remodel approach. Okay, so say you do none of that. You got to be cap compliant. You can't go into the season with negative cap. So what's the option here? Well, I think the obvious one is Noteboom. And we already know this is going to save around 10 million, but we're going to underestimate here. And we're going to say this cap figure is now 12 million this year. Now doing that, I'm not cutting Cup. I'm just, resetting it. Now Noteboom drops to the 8th highest cap hit on the team. And you have 3.6 million in free cap. Okay. You're going to have to do another thing, okay? That's what we're trying to explain here. That's the whole purpose of this video. For those of you that are wondering what's going on with the cap. So, say Aaron Donald, signs another deal, okay? Say it saves them $7 million. Get you to 10.6, you can almost pay your draft class. See, this is why it's important to go through this. Tyler Higbee, I don't really feel like they're going to move around that deal. I mean, Rob Havenstein, they could, right? They could, but will they? I don't know. So there are some moves that they're going to have to make here. And I do think ultimately they might have to go this route with Matthew Stafford. Now, if Aaron Donald retires, which, obviously people have been wondering, he's already mentioned it, he's teased it. If that were to happen, this number, we don't know, because normally retirement, that's what that would mean. The Rams would literally save negative money. So it would hurt the cap, right? And they wouldn't save negative money because that, yeah. So what is my point here? My point is a lot of this hinges on Donald. A lot of this hinges on whether Stafford gets, restructured or not. Cup, Havenstein, they're going to have to play around with this. But when people ask me, can you afford this person? Can you afford this person? The answer is yes. Because if you want to look at the max cap space the Rams can get, this is essentially it. Now, is this realistic? Not really. But this is what you'd be looking at. This is $37.1 million with those restructures. Not saying they'll do them, just let you know. The reworking of Noteboom's contract, then you factor in everybody that's already been signed. You have $37 million. At that point, you have about $11-12 million to work with the draft, so that sends you back to $25 million. That would be your effective cap space. Something to think about. So, what do the Rams want to do? Well, I think moving forward here, depending on this name right here and what happens here, depending on that, I think the Rams could look at getting a big-time player via trade, maybe with a Hassan Reddick, or, going after Josh Sweat, or maybe even, swinging for the fences with Josh Allen. Now, let's look at 2025 here. So 2025, the Rams currently have $79.6 million in cap space. That is also factoring the fact that they have Jonah Jackson under contract, Kevin Dotson, Aaron Donald. This right here is he would not be under contract, right? So this expires. I actually believe this is his void year. Yeah, significant void year. That's a lot of void money. So they'll hopefully, they might have to figure this thing out, because that doesn't save you anything. It's voided. That doesn't matter. That doesn't help you. That's a lot of money there. Havenstein, you cut him next year, only saves you 2.3, so it doesn't really help you out there. Noteboom, it's gone. That's a void year. So the Rams are going to get pegged with void years. I know I've mentioned it before to you guys about the 49ers and how they're using void years, and it's putting them, behind the eight ball a little bit. But the Rams also use a lot of void years as well. Higbee here, this would probably be their out, only incurring 4 dead money, saving about $5 million. After that, Kevin Dotson, Jonah Jackson, I think at that point, Cooper Kupp would be a restructure candidate or a cut candidate, but I think that they would trade him. So assuming that they trade him to, I don't know, the Bengals, we'll say, just for the heck of it, in 2025. Trade him to the Bengals. the Rams would save the same as what they would do releasing him. So $12.5 million if they trade Cooper Kupp, assuming he didn't have a great year this year. Not saying that he's going to, but it just gives you an idea. The Rams can save about $17 million there, move this thing up. Stafford's going to have a $50 million cap hit next year. If you restructure that, you can save $17 million. It puts you at $114. You can restructure Jonah Jackson. Honestly, with Jonah Jackson's contract, Kevin Dotson's, and of course, Colby Parkinson, which this isn't factoring, by the way, so you need to also keep that in mind. With these contracts, a lot of these, the way they're structured is 2-year deals, right? Really 3 years, when it says it, but it's 2 years. They can play that third year, but the third year isn't really guaranteed. So what they can do is if things are going well, you can push this and be like, okay, Kevin Dotson, that third year has very minimal guarantee. Well, we love what the way you're playing. We need to save some money. Let's do this on the cap. We'll give, an extra $4.5 million. And now, you're going to have some value there in that third year where you're going to come back and play football for us for sure. So that's kind of what they can do. The purpose of this exercise is to show you, because really right now we don't really know entirely, but I feel like it's best to just kind of have at least some sort of idea, some illustration. So that was my plan with this video. I hope it worked. Obviously, this is all educational purposes. I mean, I don't have any narrative to paint or anything like that. I'm just saying this is, where we're at. So we'll see what happens. But as far as the Rams, can they afford so-and-so? Yes. Will they do it? I don't know. We're going to find out very soon. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys soon. Take care, folks. Later. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.